Radio Riyadh.
96.8.
Radio Riyadh presents
Creativity,
Ideas,
Innovation,
change,
leadership.
development.
youth in entrepreneurship. Only on
Radio Riyadh 96.8 MHz.
Namaste and welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Youth in Entrepreneurship. My name is Ashutosh Paudel and this is Conversation with A. You're listening to Nepali Ko Awaz Radio Riyadh 96.8. We have Deepesh Gimare supporting us technically. In the last 11 weeks, we have featured success stories of entrepreneurs of Nepal. In the first episode, we had Mandira Raut, who is the founder-president of Utsa Nepal, which is a social venture that works towards the empowerment of youth. Similarly, we featured stories of young entrepreneurs from various walks of life, and it has encouraged aspiring entrepreneurs. The main objective of this show is to encourage young entrepreneurs to succeed in their life. In today's episode, we're going to interview the host of the previous 11 episodes of Youth in Entrepreneurship, Abhilasha Rayamajhi, and know more about her and life experiences. Let's welcome the glorious, awesome Abhilasha Rayamajhi herself on the show. Welcome to the show, Abhilasha. So, Abhilasha, how do you feel today?
I feel great, and thank you so much for inviting me as a guest on Youth in Entrepreneurship. I've hosted the show and now it feels great to come here as a guest.
Good. So let's get on to the chase. What was the main idea behind Youth in Entrepreneurship?
The main idea behind Youth in Entrepreneurship was to encourage young entrepreneurs so that they could come and express their ideas. There were a lot of people, young people who were doing a lot of interesting stuffs that was also, very much fruitful, and that was solving the problems that exist in our society today, in Nepali society. And I wanted to feature those young people who wanted to do something for their country. So the main idea behind the show Youth in Entrepreneurship was to bring those stories and also to inspire and encourage other people, other entrepreneurs who wanted to do something for their country. So that was the main idea behind Youth in Entrepreneurship.
Tell us more about the guests you have admitted into your show. Do you pick them specifically, or is it something you liked about them?
The guests that I featured on the show are change makers. They are all high achievers, and they have done really well for themselves and also for their community. Those were the people who did not just think about their families, but they thought about changing the world, so that really intrigued me, that fascinated me, and so I decided to interview them for Youth in Entrepreneurship. And if you see, most of the people are into social entrepreneurship that I have featured in the show, and some of them are also from agriculture, IT and different sectors. So I have featured those people who have tried to bring some changes in the mentality of the society, who have broke the patterns of the traditional patterns and done something extraordinarily in the society. So those are the kind of guests that I've had, and I'm really grateful to all the 11 guests, all the 12 guests, because in one episode I had 2 guests. So it was a very amazing experience to feature all those amazing people on my show, and I've learned a lot from them, and I'm sure it has helped a lot of people understand the business world and the social sector well through this show.
You're a journalist, you're like a student, and you work in the Himalayan Times. How do you manage to go to every job?
Well, sometimes it's really difficult to manage all the roles, but since it's something that I'm really interested in, and I really love journalism, and I have a great passion for writing, so because of that I manage everything, and it also connects. I'm studying business and I write for the perspectives, and Youth in Entrepreneurship is also related to business, so everything revolves around the job. My studies and job is interrelated, so that way it's not difficult for me. But during exams, it becomes a problem because I have to concentrate on exams and all those things come up. So at that time it is difficult. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine, and I manage all the roles quite well.
Since you went to 3 different colleges and academies, does education really mean a lot to you? And back to the time management question, well, you said exams are very important to you, so is education a very big thing to you?
That's a very good question. Education, I don't, not only in my life but in everybody's life, is very important. Education, it liberates people, it makes people independent. So education is very important in not only in my life, but I think it should be an important aspect in everybody's life, and we must support education in whatever ways we can.
You love journalism, so who or what inspired you to be a journalist?
Everything that's around me, that surrounds me, inspires me. You know, I want to write about things that are changing the world, things that about the ideas, about people. You know, I don't just want to sit in a room and read about it. You know, not just I want to go beyond the classroom learning. I want to travel, I want to meet new people, real people, and write about their stories and people's stories, different events. That is what inspires me, and that is where I get my inspiration from.
Do you want to go further within your journalism?
Yes, definitely. Writing is my lifelong passion, and I would definitely want to go further with this.
Does someone need to study journalism to be a journalist, or can they study anything they want?
I believe that you can study anything, you know, that interests you, that is of your interest, and that you have passion for. Now, how I connect journalism and business is I write about business news. So I don't think you have to know the past history of, you know, media and journalism to, you know, just write about something that you have seen. Definitely it's good to have a strong background of journalism, but that's not important. That's not, you know, very important that you have to study something and you have to work in that field. I don't think that is very, very important, but it would be added bonus if you study journalism and become a journalist. But it is also a good option if you come from a diverse background and still want to become a journalist.
You also worked as an anchor in the show Pattern Breakers and NTV Plus. What were some experiences you had in that show? Okay, that show was produced by South Asia Communications in collaboration with Danish Culture for Art and Development. And I had a wonderful experience. I had to get a training and audition for 3 days to get to the show. That was a competition, and around 80 people had auditioned for that, and I got selected and I got to anchor the show. So it was a great experience, and on the show we talked about the marginalized people from different communities. So the experience was wonderful, I would say, working with the team. In your opinion, do you think a person should spread their learnings and how far they can go in life, or do you think they shouldn't go that far in their life?
I think you should experiment and experience whatever life gives you. You know, life is a very enriching experience, and you should take every bit of that experience to the fullest. You should appreciate whatever is there in it for you. So I think you should experiment when you are young. You should not just stay at home and do nothing. You should just go out and explore and experience the opportunities and the challenges that world outside has for you.
What's your dream in journalism that you've always wanted?
More than a journalist, I would say I am a writer. So I want to actually write a book and in the coming years. So I want to explore a world that way through my words. So that is what I want to do.
You've interviewed many entrepreneurs before. Would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Well, entrepreneur is someone who does a job very differently and in a better way. That's my understanding of entrepreneurship, and I see entrepreneurship as a very big and broad term. So what I believe is that in 5 years' time, I definitely see myself as an entrepreneur myself, since I am a business student, and I want to do social entrepreneurship, and I will definitely be talking more about my venture in the coming episodes.
Do you want to spread the youth series or like different youth in entrepreneurship, like youth in society or youth in religions?
That's a very good question. Now we have come to the end of the first season of Youth in Entrepreneurship, and in the coming episodes, in the coming season of Youth in Entrepreneurship, I would want to do it very differently. Well, that is more of a surprise, because it is in the process of being fully developed. So it will take time, and you'll definitely know when it comes.
So, what's a lifelong message that you'll always follow by?
That is a very good question. I always believe that we have to be responsible for our own actions. We make mistakes sometimes, but that doesn't mean that we'll hide our mistakes. We should always be confident in whatever we do, and that is what brings us happiness and success in life. So that is what I always follow. Never hide your mistakes, and always be responsible for whatever you do in life. Thank you.
Did mistakes bring you up in life or lower?
Mistakes definitely taught me a lot. Failures have definitely taught me a lot in life, and I think that is how we learn.
Thank you so much for coming to our show, Abhilasha.
Thank you, Ashutosh, for inviting me, and you did a really good job. I hope you do better in your upcoming shows. Thank you so much.
We're at the end of the first segment of the last episode of Season 1 of Youth in Entrepreneurship, and we'll be back after a short break.